The flood swept away everything, and cars, trees, lives. Rescuers screamed for backup when a mother's voice cut through the chaos. "My baby's still in the car." And before anyone could move, a German shepherd broke free from his leash and plunged straight into the deadly current. What happened next stunned everyone. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Rain hammered the small town. Sirens wailed from every direction. Rescue trucks, ambulances, voices shouting over the storm. The river had risen beyond the levee, turning the main road into a roaring current. Officer Daniels stood near the edge of the flood zone, raincoat plastered to his skin, radio crackling with frantic reports. Beside him, his K9 partner Ranger, a muscular German shepherd with sharp amber eyes, stood perfectly still, scanning the chaos. Every few seconds, the dog's ears twitched, listening, sensing. "Stay alert, boy," Daniels muttered, gripping the leash tighter as another vehicle was swept away downstream. The air smelled of oil, mud, and fear. No one knew how bad it would get. But something told Ranger the worst hadn't come yet. A sudden crack of thunder split the air, echoing across the flooded streets. Then through the chaos came a sound that made every rescuer freeze, a faint, desperate cry. At first, Daniels thought it was the wind, but then he heard it again. High-pitched, weak, and unmistakable. "A baby over there," a bystander shouted, pointing toward the middle of the flooded road. Through sheets of rain, a half-submerged silver car bobbed in the current, its headlights flickering under the rising water. Inside, a woman screamed, pounding on the window, her voice breaking. "My baby, please. My baby's inside." Daniel's heart kicked into overdrive. He grabbed his radio. "We've got a vehicle trapped midstream, possible infant inside." "Request immediate backup," Static answered. The current was too strong for boats, too fast for swimmers. "No one goes in," the sergeant's voice snapped through the radio. "Hold position." But beside him, Ranger wasn't holding. His ears shot forward, muscles trembling. He stared at that sinking car, tail stiff, a low growl rumbling in his throat. Daniels tightened his grip, but the shepherd's instincts were screaming louder than any command. Someone needed saving. The wind howled, rain slashing sideways like knives. Officer Daniels crouched low, gripping Ranger's leash with both hands. "Easy, boy. Stay," he ordered, voice strained against the storm. But Ranger's entire body quivered, ears pinned back, eyes locked on that sinking car. The baby's faint cry pierced the air once more, weaker this time, fading beneath the roar of the flood. Daniel's pulse pounded. "Hold him," another officer yelled. "He's gonna bolt." But it was too late. With a fierce jerk, Ranger tore the leash from Daniels's grasp and sprinted toward the water, paws splashing mud and debris. "Ranger, no!" Daniels shouted, running after him. But the shepherd didn't hesitate. Without a moment's pause, he leapt into the raging current, vanishing beneath the churning waves. "Get a spotlight on him," someone screamed. The beam caught flashes of brown fur, then nothing. Daniel's chest clenched in terror. He knew that current could tear a man apart, and his partner had just gone straight into its heart. For a breathless second, all anyone could do was watch the dark, swirling water and pray that Ranger would come back up. The flood swallowed Ranger whole. For a terrifying heartbeat, there was nothing but water and darkness. Then a splash. His head broke the surface, eyes wide, ears slicked flat against his skull as he paddled hard against the current. "Come on, boy, you can do it," Daniels yelled from the shore, his flashlight tracking the dog's movement. The current slammed against Ranger's body, spinning him sideways, but he fought it, claws slicing through the water, every muscle straining. The silver car was almost gone now, the roof barely visible. Through the shattered windshield, a flash of pink. A baby blanket. Ranger lunged toward it, barking through the storm, but the sound was swallowed by the flood. "He dove under! 30 seconds!" a rescue officer shouted, watching the stopwatch. "He's got 30 seconds before that car's under." 20 seconds passed, nothing. Daniel's voice cracked. "Ranger, Ranger!" Then out of the darkness, the water erupted. Ranger surfaced, gasping, jaws clenched around something small and pale. The baby. He kicked furiously, dragging the tiny bundle above the surface as the current tried to rip them away. "Go, go, go!" Daniels waded in, the water surging to his waist. Two rescuers locked arms and reached out as Ranger fought closer. 5 more seconds. 3, 1. They grabbed him just as the car disappeared beneath the flood with a deafening splash. Daniels yanked Ranger to shore, collapsing beside him, coughing and shaking. The baby lay limp in the shepherd's mouth, soaked but still. For a moment, the entire world seemed to stop. Rain poured, thunder rolled, and then the tiny baby coughed. A small broken sound, but it was life. Ranger's tail twitched weakly. He had done it. In 30 seconds flat, he'd beaten death itself. The world blurred into chaos, flashing lights, shouting voices, the relentless drum of rain. Officer Daniels dropped to his knees beside Ranger, who lay panting, sides heaving from exhaustion. His fur clung to his body, shivering with every breath. In front of him, a medic pressed 2 fingers against the baby's neck. Nothing. Come on. Come on, the medic muttered, beginning CPR. The tiny chest rose and fell under his hands as Daniels watched, drenched and trembling. Ranger whimpered softly, nudging the baby's blanket with his nose as if begging it to move. For one unbearable moment, the world held its breath. Then again a cough. A faint, choked cry split the air. The baby's tiny hand twitched. "She's breathing," the medic shouted. Cheers erupted from the team. Daniel's vision blurred with tears as he pulled Ranger close, burying his face in the dog-soaked fur. "You did it, buddy," he whispered, voice breaking. "You really did it." Ranger's eyes fluttered and his tail gave one weak wag. Around them, the storm still raged, but in that single precious moment, life had won. Days later, the storm was gone, but the story was everywhere. News stations replayed the footage again and again. The moment Ranger broke free, the desperate leap, the impossible rescue. Headlines called him the dog who defied death. At the police headquarters, a small ceremony was held. Officers stood in silence as Ranger, coat brushed and tail wagging, sat proudly beside Officer Daniels. The chief stepped forward, his voice steady but thick with emotion. "For extraordinary bravery and service beyond command, we award K9 Ranger the Medal of Valor." Applause filled the room. Daniels knelt, fastening the shining medal to Ranger's collar. For a second, man and dog locked eyes, partners, brothers, heroes. "You broke the rules that day," Daniels whispered with a smile, "but you saved a life doing it." Ranger barked once, soft but proud, as if he understood every word. A few weeks later, Officer Daniels walked into the hospital garden, Ranger trotting happily beside him. Waiting there was the young mother, and in her arms the baby Ranger had saved. When she saw them, her eyes filled with tears. "That's him," she whispered, kneeling down. "That's our hero." The baby reached out, tiny fingers brushing Ranger's fur. The German shepherd wagged his tail and gently licked the child's hand, earning a giggle that melted every heart nearby. "They say heroes wear badges," the narrator's voice echoed softly. "But sometimes, heroes just have paws." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell so and join us for more real stories of courage, hope, and heroes.